When you're negotiating with a creator, is it common to have pushback on the CPM structure, or just generally, how does that conversation go down?
Yeah, sometimes, I suppose. And typically, I think that is with smaller podcasts that they would push back, partly because it's hard to incentivize someone to pay $25 if they're only going to get 1,000 downloads. So I can see that being the reality on that side. However, on scale, it doesn't make sense always. On scale, when you grow your podcast, CPM does become a really impactful number there. On the other note there, CPM is highly incentivized in the sense that you don't have to think of it as a $25 CPM. In a lot of cases on smaller shows, you can bill at $100 CPM plus. You can price based off an affiliate model you might have started with. For example, when I ran my show, I started with an affiliate model. I worked with a brand, did affiliate sales for them. I generated over $5,000 in the first month on over 1,000 downloads per episode. For them, I was able to go back to them and bill at over $100 CPM per episode. And so you can justify those rates and make that production cost fit. And I think the problem that I think some people that are opposed to a CPM model see is that they think that they can only ever get one sponsor per episode. Now, if you're able to fill up 4 or 5, 6 sponsors per episode on a CPM model, you are far outweighing the costs that it might cost you to make your episode. And I think people overestimate the production costs sometimes. It's not always as expensive, and you can start with a lean model and grow that SOC. And as sponsorship revenue comes in, you can continue to grow that. The thing I love about CPM is it's a supply and demand model, meaning that if there's open inventory on your show, you can always come in at a lower CPM. And as more people want to get on your show, raise those numbers, bump that up, charge your existing sponsors more rates, and you can justify it as much as you want. You don't have to take $10. You don't have to take $25. You can tell them it's a higher number. And if it makes sense for the brand and you're generating results, they'll do it.
Fascinating. And you know what? A little bit of behind the scenes of why I launched this podcast. That point you brought up about having multiple sponsors in one episode is a phenomenon that does not really exist elsewhere in any other format. Like, you'll almost never see multiple sponsors in a YouTube video or in an Instagram post. It's always like, okay, one sponsor. I'm holding up, hint, you want to sponsor me, right? Like this type of thing, right? It's like you're not holding like multiple brands typically, right? 99% of the time, right? But with podcasting, that it's destigmatized, or it's just part natively built into the format. And so I think that that's actually very compelling. When I was looking at my own creator business and all the different content formats that I have, the newsletter, the YouTube, the social, all this stuff too, I was like, you know what? Having a podcast could be a very critical component for me to have more negotiating leverage when I'm speaking with brands, multiple brands, right? If I don't have, spots elsewhere in my business for a brand that wants to partner with me, right?